parishes.
What is the future of French in Louisiana? Louisiana is located in the southern and central regions of the United States. It borders Texas to the west, Arkansas to the north, and Mississippi to the east. With roughly 4.6 million residents, Louisiana ranks 20th in land area and 25th in population of the 50 U.S. states. Francophone and Creolophone communities have long shaped and molded this region. As a reflection of its French heritage, Louisiana is the only U.S. state with political subdivisions called parishes, an equivalent of counties, and one of only 2 states not subdivided into counties. In this video, we focus on the future of French in Louisiana, a predominantly spoken language in the state. Will the French language become extinct or continue to be famous? As we delve into today's topic, we encourage you to watch until the end. How French became grounded in Louisiana. French emigration peaked in the 17th and 18th centuries, cementing the Creole culture and dialect. An important distinction is that the term Creole, at the time, was used to signify native or locally born, in contrast to foreign-born. The core of the population was rather diverse, coming from all over the French colonial empire. Following the Great Upheaval, large populations of French-speaking Acadians began to arrive along the Mississippi River and eventually reached the modern-day state of Louisiana. Despite this, Spanish Governor Bernardo de Galvez allowed the Acadians to continue to speak their language and observe their other cultural practices after France gave up their territorial claims to Spain in 1762. There were a lot of farmers and fishermen in the original Acadian community, so that they could give their kids a decent amount of education. Until the American Civil War, French immigration continued, bringing large numbers of Francophones, speaking something similar to today's Metropolitan French. The Louisiana Constitution of 1845 allowed legislators to communicate in English or French, and the Louisiana Constitutions of 1845 and 1852 required all laws to be written in both languages. In the early 20th century, French had a remarkable decline, and our subsequent discussion will focus on that. Decline of French in Louisiana. In 1921, the new Louisiana Constitution reversed the previous language rights and prohibited the teaching of French in all public schools. The Constitution established English as Louisiana's official language, resulting in French displacement from New Orleans and its current location in the southwestern regions of the state. The teaching of French in Louisiana eventually became a sign of cultural illegitimacy, and many parents resisted the practice. When the government mandated that parents enroll their kids in school, they selected private French Catholic schools in which classes were conducted in French. English speakers used derogatory terms and phrases to put social pressure on French speakers. Standard French, which they considered to be the prestige dialect, was emphasized by the French schools. The government hired new teachers who couldn't speak French, and they were employed when the government made all public and private schools teach in English. Children could not understand their teachers and were generally ignored by continuing to speak French. Eventually, the school authorities punished children in Louisiana for using French on school grounds. Efforts were made to preserve the French language as it continued to decline. Our subsequent discussion will expound on that. Efforts to sustain the survival of French in Louisiana. In 1968, the Council for the Development of French in Louisiana, CAUDEFIL, was established to promote the preservation of Louisiana's French language and culture. The Louisiana State Legislature has significantly altered its stance on the status of French. Since the passage of Legislative Act No. 409 in 1968, the Louisiana governor was granted authority to establish the Council for the Development of Louisiana French to encourage French development, usage, and preservation as it existed in Louisiana. Since the 1990s, French signage, packaging, and documentation have been prevalent throughout the state. French and English bilingual signage is confined to the old districts of cities, such as the French Quarter in New Orleans, downtown Lafayette, New Iberia, and several others. Tourism bureaus and commissions throughout the state have information on tourist sites in French and English, as well as other major languages spoken by tourists, to meet the demands of a growing Francophone tourist market. Though French is now considered an endangered language, at least some people will always speak it. The question is, how many? Only the future will tell. Do you think French has a future in Louisiana? Please join the conversation and share your thoughts in the comments section. Thank you for watching this video. Please don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell.